Welcome everyone. So we are going to bring in the spirit guides. So the spirit guides that I channel, these are my own personal spirit guides. They are message bearers. Red Eagle is one of the main guides who I channel. Red Eagle is, he says he's an old friend of mine. We've had many lifetimes together, and he is kind of the grandfather warrior that you wish you had. With all due respect to your grandfathers. But, you know, he's also kind of like talking to a very old 10,000-year-old tree, is what I would say. He's kind of like, he's beyond the physical lifetime that he had. He's lived many, many lifetimes, like we all have. And he comes through in this lifetime, he always says as his favorite version of himself, which is when he was a chief. So he comes through and delivers messages about the planet, about life, about how we're evolving, about the path of the soul. And then he gives personal messages to people. And he's named babies and books and movies, and he's given people new places to live. And he's done a lot of very, very interesting and fascinating things with people. And I'm very happy to bring him through for you guys. And he will come through after we do a meditation. That's how we start, is we do a little meditation to bring our energies together. And if you've ever seen an orchestra, and when an orchestra plays, you know, there's like 50 to 70 people in the orchestra, but if you show up a little bit before the performance starts, you hear this sound like they're all tuning up. And it's funny because they're all playing different notes, but they all kind of like just tuning the instruments to each other, and it makes this really nice sound. And I always looked at that as, wow, everybody does meditation everywhere. Not just sitting in yoga studios or channeling circles, we're all going Om, but the orchestra is going Om, but with instruments, they're trying to find that common sound that's tuned together. So when we sit like this, it's not just me who is channeling, believe it or not. What you guys are doing is you are here because your spirit guides brought you here. Even though you think you chose to be here, they pushed you to be here and created this space. And we are kind of like those instruments that are tuning together. So I'm the one who's channeling, but you are also the ones who are resonating with it. So when we do this meditation together, you're part of, I like to say, the orchestra. So don't worry, it's all, you don't have to sing anything, it's all in here. We will start off with this guided meditation, and then we'll do an Om. And if you've never done an Om before, it's just the word Om. And the sound, the word Om just simply represents, it's like the cosmic sound of creation. It's like the hum that goes through the universe, and we're just connecting to that. So I'll lead us in the guided meditation, and then I'll say a blessing as our eyes are closed. And then I'll say, join me in the Om, and you follow along. And after we finish the Om, you can open your eyes and relax, and Red Eagle will come through and he'll talk to you guys. He is, you know, he sounds different than me, and for me, this experience is like going to sleep. So I'll just be asleep for the next half hour, and he talks through me, and he'll go around to each of you and give you a message, and you can ask questions. Sound good? All right. Okay, everyone, let's take our hands and place the palms facing upward. And close your eyes. As you close your eyes, begin to slow time down. Begin to drop into the center of your body, sending your consciousness, your awareness, to your solar plexus. That means a few inches below your heart, in the center of your body. At the count of 3, we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to breathe in through our nose at the count of 3 and send the air down into that spot. And I'll ask you to hold the breath till I say exhale. And when I say exhale, you're going to blow it out through your mouth, releasing any tension or stagnation or resistance. Let's try it, and we're going to do it twice, okay? 1, 2, breathe in. Hold the breath. As you're holding the breath, drop your shoulders, relax your forehead, and blow it out. Bowing your head. Breathe in again through the nose, but very slow. So slow, even slower. Hold the breath calmly. No tension in your face, no tension in your chest. And then blow it out gently. Bow your head forward. Surround yourself with light. Imagine a beautiful, golden, bright, white light emanating from the point between your eyebrows. This is your third eye. This is your connection to the highest realms of consciousness, the larger self, your higher self. And the light is beaming out from this point between your eyebrows, relaxing your forehead and your cheekbones, your face, your ears, your scalp, your hair, your neck, your throat, your shoulders, your collarbone, your entire body beginning to be surrounded by light. This light is expanding in every direction now around you, 2 to 3 feet. It takes no effort, just watch it and feel it growing and glowing, bigger and brighter, brighter and bigger, till it is filling this entire room. Now see this light, this healing light, expanding beyond this room, beyond this house, beyond this city, bigger than this entire planet, and zoom your consciousness out to outer space and look upon the planet Earth and surround it with light. You have the ability to do this. You have this immense love in you. You can light up the whole planet with the love that you have inside of you. So hold that light around the planet as I say this blessing, and join me in spirit with the intention that I am speaking with. Great Spirit of love, thank you for uniting us. Thank you for the many blessings of the past, the present, and the future. Thank you also for the blessings in disguise of the past, the present, and the future. Help us to heal and nourish our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and help us to help others do the same. We send love to our ancestors as well as our descendants, both born or unborn, known or unknown, and to our spirit guides, perceived or not yet perceived. We thank you. Relax your shoulders. I'm going to start off the Om. You're going to join me. You're going to match the note as best as you can. Don't yell it, but don't mumble it. Let the sound resonate in your chest and let that light expand as you do. And after that, I'll say goodbye and they will say hello. So here we go. Hello. I'm ready to go. Everybody tells you, listen to the light within yourself. They tell you the answers are inside of you. The whole universe is inside of you. You just need to look inside and you will find the answer. Yeah, that is true, but how do you know how to look inside there? Why are you amongst all the people of the earth? Why do you have teachers? Why do you have experiences, situations, traumas, victories, defeats? Everything that you do, somebody taught you how to do. Somebody taught you how to put your clothes on, how to brush your teeth, how to write in this book, how to drive your cars. There's nothing you have ever learned that you have taught yourself. You had to either see somebody else do it, or read about it, or hear about it, or have someone teach you directly. You see, you have just celebrated your Independence Day here. But there is no such thing as independence. Not one thing in reality is independent. Not even the tree is independent. It needs the soil, needs the water, needs the sun. Everything is interconnected. Everything is energy. So everything is interdependent. And we would say to you, a good reason to celebrate would be when you celebrate, Happy Interdependence Day. You don't want to be codependent. You don't want to be just by yourself independent, because you cannot be. No matter what you do, you isolate yourself. Go live in the desert. Go live in the snow or something by yourself in a little hut. And you will still not be independent. You will need the food. You will need the wind. You will need everything. But what does it mean to be alone? This word alone used to be two words. It used to be all one. Imagine saying you're all one as opposed to saying you're alone. What do you think is more empowering? When you are all one, it means that you feel connected to everything. You're no longer living in fear of the past, the present, or the future. You're total acceptance that everything is for you rather than against you. You see, you tend to see life as a battle. It is easy to see life as a battle. You have to fight oppression from others, maybe oppression from your own self. The tyrant inside of you sometimes is worse than a tyrant that is either your society or your parents or whoever you encounter. Because many times the tyrants have left, or you have left the tyrants, but the tyrant in your mind is still there, cracking the whip against you, hitting you with the bat. You no longer are doing self-critique. You're doing self-criticism, and there is a big difference. To critique yourself is different than to criticize yourself. Critique has constructive energy. And you cannot help but to create. Creating is what you value the most. That is why you call your God the creator. You don't call your God the doer, or the beer, or the seer, or the thinker. You call your God the creator. Because creativity is what you value the most. You have great artists, and you value them because they are creators. You have a great leader, if that leader is creative, resourceful. Everything that you need, all of you, you have it right now. We will explain it to you. Because you believe, I have good things, but I want more things. Of course you do. But you are connected to everything that you want right now, and we will prove it to you. Think of any good experience that you have. Maybe the home you live in, maybe the car you have, maybe the friend that you have or partner that you have. And you can trace it back even tonight. You sitting here in the channeling circle, maybe you knew somebody who told you, go there. But how did you meet that person? Oh, through there. Oh, how did you meet that person? Oh, 3 years ago. A friend introduced me to that person. And what about then? Oh, 10 years ago. I had a, flat tire. And I was stuck somewhere I did not want to be. And I made a friend. Come to think of it, the reason I'm here tonight, you might say, was because of something that happened 20 years ago. You were connected to tonight 20 years ago. So what are you connected to now? That is going to happen in 5 years, 10 years. So the question comes up, is it destiny? Is it fate? Is everything already written? Why do I have to do anything then? Children are born, some of them, they play piano very well. You put them on the internet, you say, how does the 4-year-old know how to play? She knows. Maybe it is a past life, maybe she is connected to the spirit guides, whatever your belief system is. But it does not mean that she is going to become great. She will have to practice. She will have to learn. Right? So you could say it is destiny for that one to grow up to be a famous musician, but not at all. It is not destiny. Now you will say, yeah, it takes work. If you want to call it that, there is a word that is better than work. It is called surrender. When you surrender to what is inside of you, when you fully surrender to that, an energy happens that is like a great river that finally begins to flow. It was not stagnant or stuck in the mud. The river begins to flow. You call it getting out of your own way, yeah? What is your name?
Tyler.
Hello, Taylor. I'm Red Eagle.
Nice to meet you.
You had a past lifetime. You were very good with a bow and arrow. Yeah, you were kind of sharpshooter, you might say. This lifetime, The eyes might have a... How your eyes doing this lifetime?
My eyes?
Yeah. Need a little help? Yeah, we see it. Do not let it go too long. Stay on top of it. It is not that there's something wrong with you. It is that your eyes, you used them a lot in past life, where you were trying to hit your target. And what is happening in this lifetime with you is, boy, you're trying to hit your target again. And it is a moving target. And you're saying, I have to run fast enough ahead of this target to make sure I am there before it hits. How do I predict the next trend? How will I be on the next wave? You follow? You're thinking, I have to do something new. But the part of you still is a little bit rooted in doing what you feel is tried and true. What works? But you see, Tyler, what works will only work until there's a new energy. That is how art goes. You're an artist?
Yeah.
What is your art?
I'm a singer-songwriter, and I also do hair.
These are popular arts. It is partly popularity contest. Then everybody has to do things that is a certain style. What is in style for the hair? What is in style for the music? What is in style for clothing? You will say something is in style, something is out of style. Then there's something that is called classic. Seems to be more eternal, huh? How do you get that classicness? It is a target that is moving, isn't it? Sometimes you say, you know what, maybe I will not be a classic, maybe I will just be popular. For now, then I will see what happens later. But you see, that is not exactly how you are made, and that is why you are having a little bit of trouble inside. Because you cannot fully commit to being trendy. You will do it a bit, because you like it. But do you notice the totality of you cannot do it? Because it is not your authentic self. It is just something, a role you can play, and you can play it well. But it is about how do you pull magic out of hidden places inside of you. So we say this to you, is to trust, listen to it first, your dark side. Trust your dark side. Oh, what is dark side? Are you talking about ghosts and demons? What are you talking about? No. It is what lives inside in the shadows. It is what lives inside the womb. All of you came from a dark womb. In your mother's belly it was dark. That is the kind of darkness we're talking about. Not being afraid, but also it is emotional darkness. That you are not afraid to go into those places, and you are not. They are not negative. They are soulful. And you have to know those places in order to be able to uplift people. You know this name's Sammy?
Sammy?
Yeah. You know who this is?
Yeah, I know a couple Sammys.
Who is the closest one to you?
I don't know anyone that close named Sammy.
You better pick one, because we got to talk about that one. Should be connected to what you do.
You know, I can't even think of anyone that I actually...
I want to give you a few names here that are coming up.
Okay.
All right. First, we want to tell you the name. Sound to us like JC, something like this. It is J, then another name coming here. Also connected to the name Evelyn or Eve. Who is your mother's mother? Did you know her? She coming through to you. That your grandmother there? Mm-hmm. She consider you like daughter? Mm-hmm. How long ago she crossed?
In 2020.
Do you know who is the Evelyn connected to her? And the Richard connected to her?
Richard?
Yeah.
Richard is my dad.
All right. Tell you talk to him?
My dad passed away.
Oh, so she with him. Now we understand.
Yeah.
You're old friends, Taylor. And you have known each other many lifetimes. You did not need to know each other so well this lifetime. Because your souls know each other. Do you understand? No, not yet. You don't understand. But you will. First, we tell you this so you can dive deeper into your life. He was not supposed to be here in the physical with you. There are many reasons for that, but number one is that it was not to be intrusive on your life, and he would have been in his earthly self. Now he is in his angel self. So he can help you more from there. Here he was not built to go the long distance with his body. All right, that is what we're here to tell you. And so it was, you might say, was going to be rooted in negativity if the life had kept going. Do you understand? All right then. But he's very proud of you. And he's not surprised at all of your path. He knows how much you like the sunsets. He says that is your time. You start to finally drop in. He's going to be your travel agent, he says. If you want to go everywhere, he will take you. He's arranging it for you. You've been to France yet? You want? Yeah. He said that's what you want. He is going to arrange it for you. Next year you will go.
Amazing.
Yeah. Also, he like when you say good night to him. He hear you. He said that is when he connect to you the most. He hear you when you say it. You say it something out loud. Yeah, he hear you. So don't worry. Sing from your heart. Sing from your joy. Sing from your darkness. Sing from your pain. Sing from your attitude. Whatever it is that at the moment is true. You got it? Alright, he also making a joke. You got something about socks? You collect socks or something in your house?
So I was just sorting through all of my socks today. It was so funny.
He was watching you.
You have so much. Way too. I just need to throw a bunch of them away.
He was enjoying watching you. So he making a joke about it.
I have so many socks all over my floor.
Also tell to your mother the mother came through. Want to ask, what is the mother's mother name?
Daisy, or what, that was her American name, Daisy Delisai.
Your mother had headaches or something? What is going on in the head? Sinus, headache? What? She putting her hand on the head of your mother.
Asthma. Really, yeah, she's been having like...
It is sinus, she say, happening there. That is also breathing in things. But she putting her hand on your mother's head. Say she trying to help her to... She should go into the acupuncture, get the needles to clear all this, the asthma. But it has to do with grief. That is what the body processes through sadness, and the lungs is grief. And for her to find the release of that. Do you know if your mother, she has a mark on her wrist? Or she write something on her wrist?
I think I believe she had the carpal tunnel surgery.
Oh, that's what it is. Understand. Because your mother, she putting her hand on the wrist like this. Your grandmother, she putting like this on the wrist of your mother. Now we understand. Oh, I thought maybe she have tattoo or something. Now we understand. Wrist problem.
Yeah.
So from the head to the wrist, now we know.
Okay.
She is working to help her heal her body.
Amazing.
Your grandmother say she not getting in the water enough, your mother. She need to be in the water.
Oh yeah, she doesn't swim.
Yeah. She needs to know that is what is going to help heal her. She need to float in the water. She need to see the ocean too. She does not understand how much of this condition is emotional. Also, we got somebody here. You know somebody who passed away in car accident?
Yeah, it was a motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
My friend Ron.
Give a moment. How long ago?
I think it has to have been 2 or 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
Give a moment, they're going to come through. Your grandmother is a good host to these people, huh?
Yeah,
By the way, she's making some sweet stuff for you to eat.
Yeah.
So you like a little sweet, she put a little syrup and honey on it for you.
I love it.
She said you like everything with the honey, the syrup, you understand?
Yeah.
She says, I make it for you. Did you know they run pretty well?
Somewhat.
Yeah. Do you know his family?
No, but I was really good friends with him and his girlfriend.
Tell them to the girlfriend the message. What's her name?
Sabrina.
Oh, wait a moment. Somebody is named Shelly or Sherry? Connected to him?
I'm not positive.
If you don't know, try to
Maybe
remember.
that's his mom.
All right. Sherry or Shelly, something.
Okay.
Do you know or you don't know?
No, I don't know.
All right. Maybe you'll find out. Give a message to you. Talk to the girlfriend. He's talking about the month of October.
That's when he passed.
You. Now you know it is him, all right? He is doing very well there. There was a part of him. He did not know it was going to happen. Some people they know, Taylor, some people they know. He did not know. Ask her, she got his cap or something? Do you know?
Probably she has everything.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
she has.
He said she was worried to put the cap on her. He did not know when he got out of the body and he saw, he went, wow, what happened? But then the spirit guides take him, angels take him, and he is fine. Now he's kind of going to be one to help her in her life. One to help her in her life. And to give the mother a hug. Huh? He thank you for this. He helped to arrange for you to be here too. By the way, you got a little dog around you in spirit running around. Who is this dog?
In spirit?
Yeah. You have the little dog now?
I have a little dog.
Oh,
now.
dead now. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still here with you.
Yeah. But I had other dogs growing up.
Who is the Charlie? Do you know what this name is?
Charlie is one of my really good friends.
Oh.
He's still here.
Do he have a dog who cross?
Yeah.
That is the dog. Belong to Charlie.
Really?
Yeah. Because we asked the dog. He said, Charlie. Tell to Charlie, all right?
Okay, yeah.
His dog said hello to him.
Wow.
Bless you.
Okay.
Be well. Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Rosita.
Hello, Rosita. I'm Red Eagle.
Nice to meet you.
How's your digestion doing? You working on it?
Uh-huh.
Good. It is recalibrating and it will reset. Few messages we want to talk to you about intuition, about meditation, also a little bit about dance and how you have the heart of a dancer and you can never let movement leave your life. Even if it is not dance, then you must do Tai Chi or Kung Fu. Ever try it? Good. You like it?
Yes.
It is part of you because you had lifetime. You were part of what is called Shaolin Temple. You lived there before. And this movement is inside of you now. It is still in your body. So if you do Kung Fu, very good for you. If you do Tai Chi and Qigong, these will be very good for you. Also want to tell you another past life you had was in country of Ireland. You were a Celtic person, and so you have many Celtic spirit guides with you. You know what they are?
No.
You know what is Celtic? The Irish. They are the goddesses and the fairies.
Ah, uh-huh. Okay.
So they know about you. You know you are very relaxed in nature. You could sleep on the roots of a tree if you wanted, no problem. Just you could even use the roots as your pillow. You will be fine, because you're part of nature, and that way some people they're very connected, and you're that way. You're exploring now what it will be for you to discover the healer within you. And it will be a journey for you, and it is a journey for you. And we're here to tell you, good for you. It is because you have a good balance of right and left brain. You know, right brain, left brain, they handle different things. One side can be a painter, other side can be a mathematician, you understand? So you can be good with music, good with numbers, whatever it is, but it is still yin and yang. You have any yin and yang in your house? You know what is yin and yang symbol? Try to put one in your house, whether it is a painting or it is a little kind of little statue, whatever it is, would be good for you to remind yourself of that. But that brings us to living situation with you, because that is important. Where you want to live? What do you want to see outside your window? We will tell you.
Tell me.
Ocean.
Ocean.
One moment. There's somebody here who crossed over who had something happened to throat. Something wrong with the throat or thyroid or something here. You understand? You know your father? Do you know your father? You talk to him?
No.
Why not? You estranged from him? This is relative on father's side. We don't know, you know. Give it a moment. Name to us, I don't know if it is connected to your father, but somebody is saying the name, sound like Herman, like this kind of name. G-E-R-M-A-N.
Herman?
Yeah, like that. Do you know who this is? It is connected to your father's side.
Okay.
Coming through to give a message. How's your shoulder doing?
Tight.
Yeah, they're putting a little hand on you to give you healing right now. It is because the middle back is tight also. And so you need to go on the roller in the morning, roll on it. You know what is the hard roller? He is kind of this Herman kind of guide. He is kind of like a medical guide working with you, because you really are trying to balance the body.
Yeah.
You ever hear the ringing in your ears? You know, it is a high-pitched sound. You know what is that is called ringing in the ears. Have you heard it yet or no? When you start to hear it, and you will, it will be in middle of night. You'll wake up, you'll hear high-pitched sound. Little sound. That is the spirit guides working on you. Because what they're trying to do with you is something was happening with nervousness in you. Nervous, nerves, nervous system. Like your body go like that. They twitch, and you twitch very hard. And it is happening when you sleep. So what happened? You had something happen to you when you were young? How did this happen?
Oh, I just had a car accident.
Oh!
A car rolled me over.
So that is why you're twitching like that and you're healing the
I
body.
had a broken back, so that's why the person is healing me.
Yeah.
In February.
Got it. A lot about the body with you.
Yes. Why that happened? That accident?
We'll tell you. Give a moment. Good question. For you to decide that you are safe no matter where you are. Even if you have an accident, you are safe. Even if you are over there, you are safe. Even if you are over there, you are safe. You are safe whether you are in love or you are safe whether you have been in the broken-hearted. You are safe whether you are in the dark or you are in the light. In the morning or in the night, you're always safe. No matter what happens, you are safe. Your soul is safe. And that all of it was to slow you down because you're not stopping. You have to go into quiet time. And we know it is hard for you. But that was, nothing could stop you, Rosito. Nobody can stop you. That had to stop you. So, it is part of the healer's path. You have to have pain. For you, you're not going to listen because you have smart brain, so you can intellectualize many things and write it off. But you cannot do that with the body. It was a gift to prevent further frustration down the line when you are older. Frustration with yourself, frustration with the world. What this is allowing you to do is to heal your body and understand all the processes of your body. Because what was happening was you were getting old very fast. It is as if at 25 you just decided to, no more, now you're old, you're adult. You did not live it, the way you could have. Now what it is doing, the universe is doing, the accident was co-created by a future version of you. There's a Rosita who lived 10 years from now. She is alive right now. And she wants you to become her. So she says, what would it take to stop her? How about that person? No. How about that one? No. How about the heartbreak? No. How about money? No. How about no money? No, nothing going to stop her. All right, accident. Yeah. So we suggest to all of you, quiet your mind, quiet your soul, and relax so that you can learn and listen to the subtle vibrations rather than you have to get very strong vibrations coming at you. Now, how do you do it? Well, you will have to go through a kind of rocky period where you don't know what to do with yourself. You say, oh, I'm sitting here, they told me to do nothing. I'm having a hard time. All right, go through it. It will get easier after a while. It is just like exercising, people they're not used to lifting heavy weights. It hurts after a while, they are used to it, and the body gets stronger. Your exercise is learning how to quiet down and not trying to have conscious thought. For example, it is good that you are writing now, but you don't need to write it. Receive it. I'm writing, so later I receive it. Why don't you receive it now? Imagine somebody come to hug her. She say, all right, going to write it down. Good, you hugging me. I will feel this later after I read that you hugged me. This will help you to have more fulfilling love life too. Archangel Michael hears you, and he is with you. Understood? You got any question for me?
The path of the healer?
It is emotional and painful for the good ones. Means they have to draw from that. They have to come through. They have to rebirth. Right? They have to rebirth while they are alive. So what about you want to know about Path of Healer?
I'm healing my body.
First, heal yourself. Yep.
So what would be the best to heal my body because I'm still broken?
We know. Several things. Now, we have to talk to you about when we said Tai Chi. Tai Chi is not a competition. It is the slow, fluid movement of the body. You have to understand Chi. What is Chi? The life force, correct? So it is not, you can do Tai Chi sitting in a chair. And you can draw it into your legs, draw it into the body. This is your turning point story, Rosita. When you look back on your life, you say, then everything changed when this happened. And one day you will say, believe it or not, when you tell your story, you will tell it to people. And you will say, then one day somebody did me a very big favor and ran me over. The audience will say, what? You say, yeah. I thank them. Because if it was not for them, I would not be here now, talking to you. That is where you will see it happen to you. Now, working with the meridians of the body is very important. You must work on the feet. So have somebody press the feet. Or you can even stand on stones, you know, many stones, barefooted, and have them press into the bottoms of your feet. You have to reawaken the nerves in it. Also, we will tell you restorative, gentle yoga. You understand? Mm-hmm. Restorative, gentle. That means no competition, just sink into the movement, just that you can without hurting yourself too much. You have to bring this chi back into the body. Take the mixture of the mushrooms, the lion's mane, that is the most important, lion's mane mushroom, that is for the nerves. The reishi, the chaga, the turkey tail, all the combination, drink it every day. Other thing for you, it is called Shilajit. You know what is called? Shilajit. Shilajit, Shilajit. It is also called a black mumio. It is from Russia. It is kind of fulvic acid. You know? You will tell her.
I just learned about it, but where does it come from? I forget where it comes from.
Yeah, from the mountains, Siberia type places. Will be very good for you.
Yeah, but it's just supposed to be really good for you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Kylie.
Hello, Kylie. I'm Redigo.
Hello.
The flowers talk to you.
Flowers?
Flowers, yeah. They want to have messages for you. They're kind of little spirit guides for you. They want you to surround yourself with them as much as you can. Does not matter if you sneeze. Sneeze it out. Here's why. You know about the sneezing?
Yeah.
They want you to sneeze. Here is why. It is a deeper meaning. When you sneeze, what are you doing? You're reacting to something in the air, and then you're expelling what is inside of you. That is the physical thing that happens. There is kind of a spiritual twist to this also, because when you do spiritual healing, you are bringing up what is inside of you and you expelling that out. That means you're starting to speak your truth. Now you say, who's going to listen? Well, you have certain people who will listen. You can go out to nature and just talk to the trees and the flowers and tell them, but you have to get it out, you see. And you have begun the process. That is true. You have a bicycle to ride?
Yeah, I do.
When is the last time you rode it?
Probably like 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
Would be good for you to find a safe place to ride it, because you need to start to feel powered by your own energy, but moving forward. And the bicycle does that. You power the bicycle, it moves you forward. It is almost as if you had to stop it because you didn't give yourself permission to do it. It's almost like it was you had no interest in it anymore. It was a waste of time or something. But now it is calling you back to get into the body again, so that you can feel the flow and the freedom of moving forward. And that is what you want to do, all right? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, totally other question for you. Have you spent any time in Texas?
Texas?
Yeah.
No.
When you think about it, what comes to mind?
A few things.
Say it, whatever it is. It is not a test. Just say whatever comes to your mind.
Texas reminds me of my brother. And then also Texas.
And why your brother?
He moved, or his mom moved out there, so he's back and forth out there a lot. And then just another part that's not so nice to think about.
So something nice and something not so nice, huh? But it is connected to Texas. Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking about Texas not too long ago.
So we have to talk about it. It is a safe space to talk about it. You had a past life there, and that is the point why these connections are coming up. The past life is not as important as this life. The past life you had there, you were a settler. White skin, settling, was part of creating a family in a home, and had a lot to do with rootedness and where you feel rooted in family or not. And where you felt safe within family or not. Now, you talk to your brother, you're close to him?
Yeah.
Good. We'll suggest take a visit out there.
Okay.
Go see it. What city he in?
I believe he's in Austin.
Good. Go see the Austin and feel it out. You need a change of scenery, Kylie. You understand why you need it? Because what happens, you stay in the same place too long, you start to get kind of closed in. Your horizons are not open. Now I've got another question for you. We're going to ask you a lot of strange questions. You know how to do a cartwheel?
I am almost there.
Good.
Almost there. I just practiced it actually last week.
Good. Again, forward movement by your own energy, generating and going forward.
Yeah.
Now, why would this be important? Oh, because you have things to do. You have an empire to create for yourself. And you will. You were a father. And you were a good father.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Not just a boy, but a man. And you knew how to take care of your family. That was your role then. You kept them safe, and that was it. This lifetime, it had to be kind of not the same thing. You had to find your way. And that's what you're doing. So that is what the future lies for you. Stay guided on that path, and you will get it, huh? You ever been electrocuted? You know, you stick your finger in the socket, you get a buzz. All right, you remember the feeling?
I think actually, yeah, I have. It's super long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The body conducts electricity. That is known. Because the body made of water mostly, and water conducts electricity too. Now that feeling of electrocution is like an idea, a spark that happens. And we want you to keep that spark lit, as if something charges you up. And you have to keep doing things that charge you up. And it can be something simple. It could be a walk, it could be you go pet the horses, you brush them, go try to ride one. Try to talk to one, put your head against the body of one. because you have a lot of energy inside of you, and it needs to build, not cave in on itself. Huh? When you sleep in your bed and you turn to your left, what are you looking at?
Turn to my left.
Yeah.
Oh. My window and a picture of my grandma.
Yeah. That is it. When she cross over,
12, 12, 12.
she watches you do that. She watch you turn over and see and look. And she bless you. And not to worry. She still hug you. You don't need to worry about that. She still is hugging you. The hugs are there to last many lifetimes. That is why she hugged you so much, you understand? She knew she was going to be around for the rest of your life to give you enough hugs now. And when you want a doll, you can still buy one, all right? You just buy it yourself and say it is from her.
Yeah, she always got me dolls.
Yeah, that's what she's saying now.
I always had a favorite little baby that I used to take care of.
Feel her. You're one with her. Don't worry about. You're not apart from her. You're one with her. Walk one with her. Bless you.
Thank you.
We do a little meditation, then we bring Riz back to his body. Do this. Take a breath. Breathe out. Put your hands together like this and rub them together. Make a heat all the way to the tips of your fingers and the bottom of your palm. Go harder and faster till you feel the heat. Lift your hands up like this, tilt your head back, and plug your fingers all the way up into the cosmos, 10,000 miles up into the space. Feel the colors, the purple, the pinks and golds of the galaxy and the stars showering down. Tilt your head back, breathe in, and reach up. Open your fingers wide. Receive this tingling energy going down your arms into your heart. Showering you, cleansing your energy of all negativity, old resistance, old energy gone so quickly like a flash with the divine energy light of the universe. Bring your arms down, bow your head. As you bow your head, relax your shoulders, open up the back of your neck, and allow the stars to wash you. Like a waterfall of stars all around you, from the top of your head, down the sides of your head, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your fingers, your torso, your hips, your legs, your calves, your ankles, your feet. All of this light and stars washing you, taking away all negativity, regret, sadness, pain, and fear and grief. Washing it down past your feet into a stream, a river, a pool of light. Transmuting and transforming it all to light, and that light is now bubbling up in beautiful gold and sparkles rising up. Breathe in. Feel it in your heart. Relax. Open your eyes. Good. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Be well. Hi. Good morning. That's what I usually say. You guys good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for flying Red Eagle Airlines. We have landed safely back in LAX. And like I always say, as you exit the plane, leave your baggage. Whew. Let me drink some water.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you. You know, I know it's a lot to take in after something like that because the energy is so big, but there's a lot of healing that happens, as you can feel.
Yeah.
I just want to hear from you guys, and you can just talk about anything that you want to feel like saying. I'm here to answer anything or feel anything. I'm still here and connected to all the guides. So, if you want, we can take a little break, if you want, or we can just go into some questions if you may have any questions. I want you to ask away anything you want to do. Anyway, we just went to outer space and back. We went to the 12th dimension, or the 12th dimension came here. He's something, isn't he?
Yeah, I loved him.
It's like if you've never been in a channeling experience before, at first, before it starts, you can feel really nervous, like what is about to happen? And is this real? And then when it happens and the minutes pass, it's like something inside of us, and I think it's because like something inside of us knows it. Like there's an inner knowing, like something is going on here that is beyond the normal and beyond I like to say the normal, and we go into like, this is now the supernatural, but this is more like, this is actually reality, that we're not alone. And this is the reality of life. So people always say, oh, it's the supernatural or it's the paranormal, but one thing I tell people is that anything you're calling the supernatural or the supernatural is just actually the natural.
Yeah.
It's just your understanding now is getting wider. That yes, we are spirits. We're spirits. Me and you are spirits. We're just expressing ourselves through a body. And then when this body's gone, we'll have what people call the energy body, because we're just pure energy. But it's interesting, on the other side, like I have had visions where I see Red Eagle, but he might look completely different than what you think he looks like. And he's shown himself to me in different forms, where he looks Native American in one. But then one time I saw him and he was like a 9-year-old Asian girl who was blind. And he told me, he goes, that was one of my lifetimes. He goes, but I was still Red Eagle, but I was her. And then I was Red Eagle, and then I was somebody else, and then I had white skin, and then I had dark skin. And that's the thing about this life, is that we get so locked into, I'm Indian, and you're Mexican, and you're this, and you're that. And I always say to people, don't get too used to the ethnicity that you are, because it's just this lifetime, baby. It's just this lifetime. Don't get all hyped up about it. It's fun to get hyped up about where you're from sometimes, but it's like after a while, there's more to you than that. And especially in the cosmic realm, there's more to you. So when you're tapping in, what you're really doing is, like Red Eagle was saying, was surrendering. Like when people say, how do you tap in to the spirit guides? I go, I don't tap into the spirit guides, I surrender to the spirit guides. That's like saying to me, how do you tap into the flavor of that cheeseburger? I'm not tapping into the flavor of the cheeseburger. I'm totally surrendering to the flavor of the cheeseburger or the carrot cake or whatever it is that I like. I'm surrendering to it. I don't have to tap into it. Like, oh, are you tapped into my hug? No, I'm not tapped into your hug. I'm surrendered to your hug. And that's how it happens. But we get so dragged into the fight and the struggle and the doing that some people, when they hear spiritual talk about like, oh, I need to surrender, I need to relax, the reason that they have a tough time with it is because they think, what does that look like? So I just don't do anything? Oh, I'm just happy, but I have bills to pay and I have dreams to make and I got to work hard and everyone's telling me I have to really work hard. And I go, man, the idea of working hard also, like, I guess I could say I work really hard. I work a lot. And then someone might say, well, it's because what you love what you do, and so it's easy. And I go, yeah, but I don't think that's it. I think when I started getting more energy for life is when I started seeing everything the same. That I started seeing no difference between work and play, where I was like, I'm expressed where I am, meaning that when I'm at the gym, I'm an athlete. When I'm in the kitchen, I'm a chef. When I'm singing, I'm a singer. That's why I'm a musician. Like I started my whole life, it was playing music. I never took lessons for songwriting, but I was writing songs my whole life, and just sold my first song last year, by the way, to Universal Music. Yeah, I wrote a Christmas song. Of all things, I wrote a Christmas song, and they picked it up. Isn't that wild? But that's channeling. Even music was channeling for me, and painting was channeling for me. So channeling, let's talk about that word for a moment. So you've heard of the word canal. What's a canal? Well, you have the Suez Canal. Then you have the English Channel. What is it? It's they cut through the land so that water can come through, so ships can go through. And canals are passageways of water. So it's the same word as channel. You are that passageway. You are that open, empty space through which something can flow, energy can flow. Doesn't matter if you're an accountant, doesn't matter if you are a singer, doesn't matter if you're an athlete. Everybody has to open to their inner channel. That means where they can learn how to step out of the way and allow the energy to flow through them. So when a channeler channels, I'm channeling spirit guides, I'm channeling this knowledge, this energy, this wisdom that is coming from the spirit guides and teachers who are coming through. And you also can learn how to tune into your guides through meditation, number one, through letting go, but your guides are always talking to you. So your guides they don't talk to you sometimes where you can hear a voice though. Sometimes it's just, I need to turn left right now. And I'm not supposed to drive to this thing the same way I always go. I'm going to take the side streets. Okay, or I think I'm supposed to take off today. I'm not even sick and I don't have anything to do, but I'm just not supposed to go. And so your guides give you these subtle messages. See, the spirit guides work in a very subtle way, which is so surprising to people, because when I'm channeling, they think, Red Eagle's energy is so strong, so they think, oh, it must be like this big wave of energy that comes into you. And it's quite the opposite. For me, it's like very subtle. I have to become very tiny. I almost have to be like a baby inside of myself. So I'm sitting in the chair, but the energy inside of me gets very vulnerable. I almost compare it to I almost feel like my feelings are getting hurt. Like when you get very soft inside, like you could be, if it's too loud or somebody says something, you almost have to go into that space. And then they can kind of enter the body. Then I start to feel them more. It's not like, all right, now I'm going to bring the spirit guides through. Come on, let's do it. Om, come on. No, it has to be totally vulnerable. And I think that's why the spirit guides talk about the word surrender, because that's a state of vulnerability. So whatever it is that you guys do that's creative, especially the creative arts, we all used to paint pictures when we were in kindergarten. We all used to sing songs, and we all used to go like this, and we all used to dance. Sometimes we danced when there was no music, because kids are already connected to the feeling of joy to dance. And then we get older, if you dance without music, you're crazy, right? If you sing really loud and you have a terrible voice, it's like you're annoying. But when you're a kid, it's like understood. Then you're so happy. You can make up words, you can make up sounds, and everybody understands. You could be spinning around over there on the floor and people understand. Oh, you're a kid, you're in that energy. And we can't do that as adults because it's not socially acceptable. But then, does that mean we have to throw away that spontaneity and that spark of life that's in us? Like we have to just do what everybody else does? And what starts to happen is we start to do what everybody else does. And we start to do what's considered normal. Oh, you're weird. Weird? You mean I'm being myself? I should do what, either I have 5 choices, it'd be like them, or them, but I can't do anything else. And that sounds ridiculous, but this is what happens, especially, that's what happens in communities of people. So people sometimes talk about the community, but for me, my community is anybody that's in front of me. That's my community. Whoever's in front of me is my community. Why? Because I'm communing. I like to use the words my tribe, but I literally see my life as my experience of meeting my tribe, no matter what it is, because everything is, I see the whole world as my tribe, not just people. I see all my experiences as my tribe. At that point, I have to, because I've been doing this for so long, that it can't be just the people who believe in channeling. Because then, like, I'm not here to seek approval. I'm here to just experience the world. Some people don't believe in channeling. So what? So now I'm going to think lesser of them? No, they just don't believe it. Maybe they believe something else that speaks to them, but it doesn't have to affect my joy of life or what I believe in, and that everybody's allowed to be unique. And this is what is, for me, what spirituality is that you are beginning to really learn the art of surrender. And I will tell you this, in every area of your life, you will win if you surrender. But you have to know what you're surrendering to. So some people go, well, does it mean to give up? Oh, you mean I should just let things be? No, that's the opposite. Because when you surrender to your truth, then you move forward. That's what you're doing. So anyway, you guys want to ask me any questions? What do you want to ask me?
Well, you mentioned a little bit of how you feel when you're channeling. I was wondering, how do you feel when you come back? Like, can you talk about emotions in the body?
Yeah, when I first started channeling, when I would come back into the body, I was exhausted. It was as if I had done a workout and then I had been up all night. And in a sense, I had done a workout, and I had been channeling for a few hours. So I used to go and I would end up like at a diner, like at midnight, scarfing down food to ground myself because I still felt like I wasn't even in the body. And sometimes it would take me literally 12 hours to feel like I was back in my body. But what I did was, because I do my best to practice what the guides teach me. So I do my meditations. I was doing yoga a lot in the beginning. And then I started to kind of get stronger, just like going to the gym. I started to feel stronger in my spiritual body, which means, I don't mean just my body or my muscles or something. I mean like my spiritual body. It's an inner muscle. It started to get stronger. And now I come back and I feel rejuvenated. I feel like, oh, I'm here now. I feel very relaxed. I don't feel drained at all. I feel a calm, fresh energy. It's very nice. But a lot of channelers, if they don't take care of themselves, what happens is by the time they get to a certain age of maybe 10 years, even 10 years of doing it, they start to break down. They just get very old. A lot happens to a lot of psychics because they're so much in the spiritual mindset that they don't often take care of their bodies. They're always giving. They forget how to receive. They can receive from the spirit world, but they get a hard time trying to receive here on earth. So luckily for me, I love stuff, and I'm a foodie, and I love things, and I love to do stuff, and I love to go shopping, and I love to sit at home, and I love to do a lot of earthly things. And those things keep me grounded, because you have to be grounded to be able to receive that, believe it or not. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. Do you want to ask me something?
Do you, so when Spread Eagle leaves your body and stuff, does he ever leave messages for you, or kind of give you a rundown on what he told us?
Yeah, so like right now I channeled him, and I have no idea what I said to any of you because we went right into conversation. But what happens is later on, I start to have memories of let's say there was a message, some specific message. It might be hours later when I'm by myself, and I'll go, oh, that was said tonight to somebody. Or I'll see a relative's face if I gave a message about someone who crossed over. That'll come back to me. But it's almost like you ever forget a dream, and then someone has to say something to you the next day, and you're like, I dreamed about that last night, right? Isn't that amazing how that happens? What is that? So I'll tell you what I think it is. I think that we are all connected, and it's just that sometimes the strongest connection is when you're not trying. I'll give you an example. So when I started understanding that I was psychic, boy, I tried everything. I was like, oh, let's go to Vegas, And I actually was in Vegas one time, and I had gone to see a show, and I was walking through the casino later, just when you walk through the casino, and I was walking by the roulette table. Yeah, the roulette thing that spins, the roulette table. And I was walking by, and they were doing it, and in my head I was like, and I looked over and I was like, oh, 17. And I was like, oh, 17. And then I was like, wait, no, let me try this. And I was like, oh, 34. All the numbers went through my head. Like different numbers were spinning through my head. Then I landed and it was like 72. And I was like, it's 72. And the roulette wheel stopped and the guy goes, 17. And I was like, oh, that was my first instinct, was that. The moment I tried, I got it wrong. I was walking by, I never forget, I had the drink in my hand and I just saw it and I was like, oh, 17. And then I was like, oh, wait, let me try it. And I was wrong. And so it was when I was totally relaxed. And let me tell you, this is the hardest part. Because relaxing is the hardest part of life, isn't it? Because the one thing that you can never do when someone says to do it is relax. Someone goes, just relax. You're like, you want making me want to kill you more when you say that. It's never worked. Just calm down has never worked. Those are the famous last words, is just relax or just calm down. So, that's an interesting story, right? So when I do come back, by the way, to get to answer your question, is that sometimes people will say to Red Eagle, do you have any message for Riz? Like a message personally for me. Yeah. And when Red Eagle gives me messages, it's very short. You guys are, like, I consider everybody else spoiled. I get like 1 word, 2 words. I'll be like, Red Eagle, and he's like, no. Red Eagle, what about this thing? Well, that's because this. Like, very blunt, very like, he actually is very detailed with everyone else. Yeah. With me, he does not give me those messages at all. It's almost like he's my personal trainer, and he's not going to cut me any slack. 20 more push-ups. Oh my God. That's it. You know? So it's like a dream that I can't remember. Yeah. And then if you talk to me about your message, it'll come back to me. That's how it happens. And the reason, I think, is because there's some system that when the spirit guides work with a channeler like me, like I've dedicated my life to it, and I've done thousands of readings. I'm not supposed to hold that in my hard drive, you know? Yeah. So it's almost like this mechanism where we're going to wipe his memory like Men in Black, like, okay, you forget, because I can't fill the hard drive up too much. That's what I think it is as I've meditated on it. But I can access it. Now, I also do psychic readings. Now, when I do a psychic reading, I'm not trance channeling. I'm sitting talking like this to people. I do readings of the phone. And so I go into each detailed thing, and that is fine. I can do that. But even then, I don't remember. There are people I've given readings to last week or 2 days ago. I do readings every day on the phone. I couldn't tell you who I spoke to this week because it comes and goes. It's not calculated what I'm saying. Yeah. And here's an interesting thing, and I want to talk to you guys about it. You will get messages that to me make no sense to me, but they'll make sense to the other person because I'm referencing something that they know about. Yeah. Okay? And I'll never forget the first time this happened to me. I was doing a reading years ago when I was a baby psychic, and I was giving a reading to someone, and I kept thinking about Twinkies while I was talking to them. And when I was a kid, I used to love Twinkies and cupcakes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, and I hadn't eaten that day. And I was like, oh man, I want to get some Twinkies. Let me just finish this reading. I got to focus on this reading. So I'm like sitting there with this person doing the reading, and I just kept thinking about Twinkies. And then I was thinking about, oh, I remember, like the back of my mind is thinking of something else while you're talking to the person. Okay, you still with me? Okay. So I was thinking about frozen Twinkies. You know people froze Twinkies? Yeah, you know that? People would freeze Twinkies and eat it. I don't know if it's good. I can't imagine it being good. I can't imagine it, but people do it, right? And I'm like, oh, Riz, focus. Like this person is getting a reading, you know, they paid money, like give them their reading. And then part of me was like, does frozen Twinkies mean anything to you? And she burst into tears because her sister who died, that was the thing that they loved the most. No. And she didn't need to hear anything after that. After that part of the reading, she was like, I'm good, that was awesome, I'm cured, hallelujah, that was it. She was with me. Because it's You know, you could be in therapy for 10 years and one mediumship session where somebody tells you something that there's no way they could have known, and you're like, oh my God, they're with me. I don't need to go to therapy now.
I have a question.
But wait, let me finish. So I said the frozen Twinkies thing to her. What it took for me was I had to put myself out there. Like, she might say, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's the most, like, this is weird now. I'm saying the most random, strange thing. But I have to be so loose and so vulnerable that even something that makes no sense to me, and I could look crazy for saying it, I have to say it. And then I have to learn what's the difference between my own thoughts and what is a psychic message. Because you have to, and that means, that's why meditation is good. That's called exercise. You do your exercises so that when you're on the field playing in the Olympics, you can perform. But you got to stretch, you got to get massages, you got to take care of yourself. So you have to do all the things. You had a question, go ahead.
That's exactly my question. How do you identify your own thoughts and channel messages?
There you go. That's how what being psychic is like. I'll answer the question before they ask it.
Like, is it a feeling? Is it an emotion? Is it...
It's two things, okay? You have to develop the part of you that stays loose and doesn't judge yourself. And through trial and error, you start to go, oh, okay, that didn't ring a bell with this person, or that didn't ring a bell, but now that did. And then that's a simple way of like, okay, how do I figure out what the feeling was where this one was right? I say, when I give a reading to a person, there'll be things I say that make total sense to them at that moment. They'll write it down. Then I'll say something that they don't know the name, they don't know the thing I'm talking about, but I say write it down also, because you don't know 6 months from now that person that I just named shows up, or a year from now you remember what I was talking about that you can't remember right now. So I ask people to write it down. And that's because anything I say to a person in a reading is what I'm supposed to say now. How much can I fit into 10 minutes or half an hour of a reading? And this person's lived, 30, 40 years on the planet, 50 years on the planet. Their whole life is so much bigger than a half hour reading. So whatever I'm supposed to say in that moment. Now, getting to your question about how do you know the difference between your own thoughts and a psychic message, meaning your own opinions. Well, the way that you have to do that is, and I can never say this enough, is finding what your meditation is. Doing this is not everybody's meditation. My meditation was driving through the canyons playing music, the top down in my convertible or something, or the windows down or whatever. And or sometimes I just needed quiet. For me, it was I needed an environment. I could meditate much better if I lit candles and made it nice than if the room was really bright. I used to need to pull the curtains. I needed to make it feel good. I needed to take a bath or a shower first and make it smell good in the room, so that I needed physical things. Some people were able to do it without any of that. That just wasn't me. Some people, their meditation is they need to wash the dishes. And that was for me another one. When I washed the dishes, I focused on the water and the soap and the sponge and washing the dishes and drying them. And it was like, oh, I call that an active meditation. You have to find what's right for you. And through trial and error, you'll find it. And sometimes for some people, it is an actual meditation sitting like that. And that does work. I find that you have to commit yourself to understanding that as you're developing your intuition, it's a lifetime process. It's a way of life. You're going to be like this even 20 years from now. And if you just practice in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, look how fast time goes. Look how fast 3 years has gone. If you just have started practicing these good habits, in 3 years you'll be like so much better than you are now. And you will learn the difference between your thoughts. Now here's what's interesting. At this point, my thoughts are psychic now. Because I'll say things that the person is going to say, even just what happened just now. I was answering a different question and I went into what your question was going to be. I didn't know that was going to be your question, but I would say this. A part of me did. I'm just not aware of it. So that's why it's an endless journey. And it's like, when you start to go into this area of your life, you're never going to be bored. you're always going to see more. You're going to just be more interesting to yourself, and you're going to be more interested in people. And it's just fascinating. That's why I love psychic work. I love astrology. I think astrology is fascinating when you really start to understand it, or talk to someone who really knows it. You're like, wow, that is so true. And you get to learn about yourself. These things, our ancestors all knew this stuff. We just got away from it. So that's why I say the new age, they call this new age. It's actually the old age.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Well, thank you guys. If you guys,
Thank you.
you're so welcome. And
Me like this.
Appreciate it.
you're welcome. Anytime. You know, I do my circles. I do 1 or 2 circles a month publicly, so you guys can come. I also do them online. This summer I do them on Sundays. So even if you're at home, you can sit at home and get your question answered.
Can I ask you one last question?
Sure.
Do you get to pick? Like, for example, say that you say, oh, I want to channel Jesus or
Yeah.
Buddha.
Yes.
Can you pick it?
I've tried, and once in a while they say yes. But a lot of times I've been surprised. Can I tell you some of the spirit guides that I've channeled that I didn't know?
Yeah.
Shakespeare,
Wow.
Thomas Jefferson, Princess Diana, Charlie Chaplin.
So she is dead.
Yeah, she is. Her body is for sure. Charlie Chaplin. My God, I can just keep going on and on. Archangels, different presidents, different musicians and composers, different actors, people in history I've channeled. Wow. Yeah, I've come to be known in the field of channeling as channeling the most guides. And I didn't know, I never planned to do it. It was just, I just became really open, and they chose it. And I think they enjoy coming through me because I enjoy them coming through, because I love the fact that there's a magical feeling in it. That you feel like you're part of that, and they're aware of it. And the more channeling that you experience, good channeling that you experience, it changes your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
What about dark, negative?
okay, so dark and negative energies, when you practice being in your highest vibration, they never come through.
Oh, nice.
No, they never come through. Yeah. It's like, it's like you just don't go into bad neighborhoods. I don't drive down those streets. Like, I know where they are. I'm like, I'm turning this way. I'm good. Yeah, you won't have to worry about that. When you start connecting in the right way and learn something properly, you're never going to, there are spirits that I just call them troublemakers, or they're bored and they're hanging around. Usually in Ouija boards, things like that.
Yeah.
So I just say, you could do it. It's not going to harm you. They eventually will go away, and you can burn sage and do all sorts of stuff to like shoo them. But I'm not against Ouija boards. I think that for some people they want to do that. I will say one thing about Ouija boards. There was a very good channeler who channeled one of the greatest spirit guides a long time ago in the 60s. Her name is Jane Roberts. And you'll learn about her. She was one of the first channels. She was amazing. She channeled Seth. It was his name in a lot of books. And amazing. And he came through a Ouija board. Oh, wow. And I think it was because they weren't listening any other way. And he's like, well, I guess I got to come through the Ouija board because they're not doing anything else. So hello, you're supposed to be a channeler. I'm going to come through this. And one of the greatest, most positive, high vibrational, greatest spirit guides that ever came through was Seth. And all these books, they're all in Barnes & Noble. Like, if you're really ready for like some serious, heavy information, read the Seth books. And Jane Roberts, she was incredible. Yeah. Then she came through a Ouija board. But I wouldn't say that's the normal way. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Having us.
Thank you.